if you don't want to. All right. So Levi is a farmer here in Aklan in the Philippines, next to the world famous Boracay. He's in vegetables. He's raising lettuce. He's raising eggplants. He's raising chickens. And I'm going to ask him point blank: is there money in farming in the Philippines if you're an American expat here in the Philippines?
I think that there is more money marginally by the amount of animals that you have here farming in the Philippines than there is in the States. Small farming in the States just doesn't work at all. I mean, we have a small farm here, and it has been working pretty well. We're going through a little bit of a struggle. We're at 50% laying amount from these birds, which means that we're not making any money currently, but we were making really good money 2 weeks ago, and hopefully within another 2 weeks we'll be back into the green as far as making lots of money.
Interesting. So Levi, how old are you again?
I'm 27. Yeah.
You're 27 years old. You have a wife and a baby, and so would you recommend this for a young man that comes to the Philippines? Because there's actually a lot of Phil-Am couples now, European, Australian, Filipino couples. Would you recommend, if they've got some farming experience back in their home country, that they give it a go, or would you say it's going to be tough?
I think even if you didn't have any farming experience back in the States, you should at least give it a go. And I would just buy yourself a rooster and 3 or 4 hens, start there, and maybe buy yourself an incubator. Once you've gotten a knack for getting birds, after you get your first batch of birds from the hens to get to laying size, then buy an incubator and start incubating the eggs from the roosters, so that you can continue to multiply as the hens lay fertilized eggs, instead of having them sit on eggs for 21 days. And then typically a bird, after the 21 days after they hatch, they're at least 21 to 40 days until they're ready to start again, because they just had chicks. Even if you take the chicks away, it's hard to get them to restart.
Yeah, you're way better off with artificial incubation.
Yeah.
So another question I got: do you think it would be profitable? Being it's so hard to get the genetics of the white egg layers, do you think it would be profitable to set up a hatchery in the Philippines?
Yeah, I mean, like just a full scale of getting
egg hatchery.
Yeah.
Sex them, sell the pullet chicks. Egg laying, and maybe even 45-day. But I think there's a huge market for the egg laying, because there doesn't seem to be many options if you want to buy egg laying pullets.
Yeah. There isn't a lot of options. Almost all of the ones we found are coming in from Luzon. There are a couple up Iloilo way, but they're almost always booked out for months and months because of
they're always booked out.
Yeah.
So to me, that says there's a need, there's a market for it. Another question I have is about crops. Some crops are going to be more lucrative than others. We've covered in our past episodes that you're doing fairly well on lettuce.
Yeah.
How about crops like cucumbers and eggplants?
Yeah, so the lettuce is a one-time harvest, which means that we've got to plant new lettuce, and it's 45 days from seed to harvest, which makes it a great rapid producing product. But plants that you can come back and pick fruit off of regularly, like eggplants, okra, cucumbers.
Eggplants seem unreally long-lived here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I've seen eggplants that look like trees. They look like their stems are made out of wood. They're so old.
Yeah.
So how much per pound per kilo can you get for eggplant?
Well, when we're in Aklan buying them from a vendor, we're buying them for 80. So I imagine the vendor's getting them for 40 or 60.
Okay.
And then you can find seconds, eggplants that are 50s.
Okay.
To buy off of them, so they're probably 25. So there isn't a whole lot of money in the run-of-the-mill eggplant. But if you got yourself ball eggplant or different unique
things that the chefs at Boracay are going to want.
Yeah, things that they're not getting.
Okay,
white
so
eggplant, we have some white eggplant that we're growing right now.
One thing that's been a tremendous problem for me here in the Philippines is growing large beefsteak type tomatoes. Do you think there's a market for beefsteak tomatoes in the Philippines?
Yeah, especially for the burger places that want to just be able to put one slice of
and they sometimes they do have tomatoes that are beefsteak type tomatoes, like the big fast food chains, but they taste like nothing.
Yeah,
they're bland, and it's like, why did I bother paying the extra? I don't know whether it's like 30 pesos for the tomato, and it's so bland.
Yeah.
But if let's say if you or I were to grow a large crop of tomatoes, would there be a market for it?
Yeah, I think that there's really a market for anything that you want to grow, especially when people know that the farmer's bringing it into the market.
Okay.
Whenever it comes off of a truck coming from Luzon, people are also excited to buy it. But whenever, especially someone who's a foreigner bringing, people know that it's going to be higher quality product than the stuff coming from Luzon.
Okay. So, any other niche crops you think? We know our friend Bella's Traveler for expat farming in the Philippines is growing vanilla. Vanilla is a big thing. Did you decide to go into vanilla?
I got a good spot for it up here on the hillside, but I haven't gotten any vanilla yet.
Because it's 3 years to return on investment on the vanilla.
Yeah.
But I really do think that it's going to end up being successful. But the thing is, you got to wait 3 years before you get your first dollar.
Yeah.
For your first peso. So.
You got to stay on it.
Yeah.
You got to stay on it. You got 1 day to fertilize.
Yeah, you got to have people that are dedicated. You either yourself have got to ride herd on it, or you got to have very, very
Somebody's checking it every
involved process.
day. That's a nice one.
So another thing I wanted to ask you about, Levi, dairy cattle and beef cattle in the Philippines. A lot of people, I just want to do at least one dairy cow just to do it, just to say I did it, because I grew up with that. But there is, I believe, a market for fat beef here.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on beef cattle?
Well, I've been telling my wife that that's our next investment, especially once we get some piglets out of our 2 pigs up on the hillside. We're going to definitely use the profits from selling the piglets to buy a pig or barter ourselves into cow. What I'd really like to do is find someone who's got a heifer that came in heat for her first time or whatever, that was well fed, or even someone that's got a heifer that hasn't come in heat, and feed it well so that it gets to optimum size, and then get AI to come in and
now that's another question I was going to ask you about. Is it possible, do you think, have you heard of anybody like getting, if you got, say you want Holstein or you want Angus, if you're doing beef, if you're doing dairy, have you heard of anybody getting semen from like Holstein or Angus around here?
Yeah, so the DA has gotten, I think, semen in from Australia.
That's awesome.
Where it's coming from. And there's a couple of, I don't know if I can see one right now, but there is a couple that run around these rice fields that are half Holstein.
Oh, you hear that? The Colonel saw one earlier and he said, that looks like a Holstein. Yeah. So maybe it really was.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is you got to do it again and
again. Yes, because I've noticed
to 95%.
This was just a calf. It was a young one.
Them half breeds don't milk too good.
No, but it had the mark. I'm just saying, it had the markings.
Yeah,
so
it definitely
had
did.
some in it.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I'm not.
Okay, well, now we know that there is maybe a source of semen for those, so it's actually worth pursuing. But it takes years. It's like the vanilla in a way. It's a multi-year project.
Just Australia? How about New Zealand?
I imagine New Zealand is sending semen as well.
They all got Angus stock, so it doesn't really matter whether it's New Zealand or Australia. Those countries all freely exchange.
I haven't heard of anything Angus coming in, but I do know of Holstein.
Well, there are Brangus cattle on Mindanao, and I've been told, and I've never nailed anybody down on this, but they've told me that there are Angus there as well. But they're definitely Brangus.
Yeah.
Crossbreed. Brangus is a certified breed now, but there's Brangus on Mindanao. 7 viewers! You got 7 viewers, Levi. That's 7 viewers watching the chicken coop.
Hey, give a thumbs up, folks, if you didn't give a thumbs up.
I thought it was aimed at you. I didn't realize it was just...
because you guys were both down there for a moment. So
blast it.
And you got a whole lot of different breeds here, Levi. Yeah. I thought you had all the same bird, but there are a lot of different ones.
Thinking when I get rid of these birds, I'm going to run around and tell people I'll give them 2 kilos to 1 kilo of their native birds. See, people that are interested in eating their birds at some point, like, I'll just give them 2 kilos of this kind of bird.
So native hens? You want native hens?
Yeah,
exchange?
Hens or roosters. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of space.
So what are you going to do with the natives?
I'm going to breed them back to Rhode Islands and Australorps.
Oh, you want the immunity, the disease immunity.
Yeah.
They're thinner, but you're going to get the natural hardiness.
Yeah.
That's the same we're doing with the goats.
There's big money in it. Apparently, in Iloilo, there's this guy that's willing to pay 380 pesos per kilo of live weight of native birds, because he's selling halves at his restaurant for 400.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so a niche market.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
And he's, we went to...
What is he doing?
Like a class of his or whatever, and that's where we learned to build that setup with the greenhouse plastic.
Okay.
He said that these Nipa roofs are great. They're a lot cooler than metal roofs, but birds just need sunlight. And
Okay, that brings me up to a couple other points. Corn. Have you ever thought of growing sweet corn and field corn?
Yeah, we planted field corn here just a couple weeks ago.
Did you use BT?
No.
Okay,
Well,
no.
it never came out of the ground.
Ours came up, and almost immediately it got hammered by the fall armyworms.
Yeah.
Now they don't have BT in the Philippines, BT sweet corn,
Yeah.
but they have BT field corn here.
Okay.
It's been imported in the country. It's licensed, and there is a source in Rojas. You know, in fact, if you wanna go halves on a bag of that, because I don't need a whole bag.
Yeah.
And it's like 6,000 or 7,000 peso. Let me know, because I'll go and get it and just split it with you if you
Yeah.
want, because I want some, but I don't want to commit to that much.
Yeah.
So, you know, enough to maybe plant an acre and see how we can do,
Yeah.
you know. But I want BT.
I got a dumb question, Levi.
What's that?
Did you ever think about like enclosing an area, top and sides, and once in a while let them out, free graze, and then put them back in?
Yeah,
Or would you lose too many eggs doing that, you think?
I started that, and I even told JN that that's what we're going to try this
Because
week.
You
Try
would
letting them
healthier
out.
birds.
Yeah.
Now, in America, they would just move the coop around and they follow the
Well,
coop.
yeah, that too. And I've thought
Well, that's what this is.
That's what I thought
Uh-huh.
about doing.
Uh-huh.
This metal frame thing.
Okay,
It's supposed to be a movable
Okay,
cage,
a
but
chicken
once you
tractor.
put the roof on it, you can't move it.
Okay,
It's too
okay.
heavy. So we're going to
Okay.
take the roof off.
maybe
make
put it on big wheels. Put
make
it on wheels.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, except for the rain, I would
Yeah,
say. What
that's
about your sunshade, your sun cloth? That doesn't weigh hardly anything.
Yeah, it might end up being way
But
too hot
most
for
of the
them.
ones I've seen have the metal roofing on it. I don't understand. Because the metal roofing we're using is so thin,
Yeah.
it don't weigh anything.
I think what we're going to do, because we have a couple spare hoops, is maybe just build a greenhouse.
What size wheels do you have?
There's no wheels on that one, yeah.
Okay, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
The bigger the wheels, it's easier it is to
But
move
the
it.
biggest problem is most of the time this whole area is really wet, so wheels
Yep.
wouldn't do
Yeah,
much
yeah,
good.
that's the problem. It's too
But
low.
we'll
It's
take
rice
the roof
field.
off, and we got to use this fish net instead of that UV plastic. Because the UV plastic, the PVC does not take UV rays.
Yep. Yeah, it just deteriorates.
Yeah, we've been what we're using now, we're using cloth. Using cloth net. The cheapest thing we can find is just...
Yeah, because there's really no predators. If you did that back home in
Well-
Missouri, the coyotes, the foxes, all that stuff would rip it open and come in and take all your chickens.
Well, we're doing it around the ponds just to keep the frogs out.
The frogs?
Yeah, because you got small fry in there.
They're eating the small fry?
They'll eat,
Oh, that's
they'll
hilarious.
Eat the fry and they'll lay their eggs. And once they lay their eggs, then you got a bazillion frogs.
Yeah,
Unless you're eating
yeah.
the frogs, it's a nightmare to get rid of.
It's useless. Okay.
I wonder if you
The
can
Thailand
feed frogs to
To chickens?
chickens.
Make
or
a
to
frog rendering
pigs,
plant?
or like just turn it into a meat source.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm sure it's a great source of protein, and like
Well, I'm sure they're using the fish guts and stuff like that here that they don't use for the chicken feed, but here they're really resourceful about reusing everything. So there's not a lot of sources of, unless you import it.
Yeah.
Because you can import meat and bone meal in shipping containers.
that's what I was gonna say. There's this one guy that told me about raising native
Uh-huh.
chickens, and he said the best thing to get rapid growth on chickens, like you can harvest birds in 30 days. or
Meat and
less.
bone meal?
Yeah, pork. Yeah,
Pork, meat, and bone meal, and you can order a whole shipping container full of that stuff. And sometimes countries like Thailand will reject it over something stupid, like and I wonder if we couldn't divert those to here, because they'll reject it because the piece of plywood in the back, because it gets put in an envelope. The piece of plywood in the back's got a stamp on it, and if the stamp's not on the door you open on the right side, then it's on the left. They have to open the second door. Well, they won't. They just close it back up and say rejected.
Yeah.
And then you got a whole shipping container full of meat and bone meal that needs to be sent somewhere else. So yeah, I mean something like that would be a heck of a advantage here. Do you know what a whole shipping container costs? Because I wasn't involved in the marketing part of it.
No, but I know that Jan could probably figure that out, being that she's a customs broker.
Maybe the thing to do to get vertically integrated is to start a feed mill and start importing that stuff.
I looked at the machines for making pellets. Making pellets.
Yeah, we need that.
And back when I was doing fish stuff, because even in Barotac Nueva, from Zelstra, the fish food is astronomical. The cost.
Yeah, protein
costs
costs
more for
money.
fish food than it does the chicken.
And that's
food.
what we were shipping the beaten bone meal from the hogs for. It was for chicken food and fish food.
If I had access to the right, I don't know, we call it lam in Thailand. I don't know what they call it here, but the powder byproduct from processing the rice. So you get that, and you mix that up with all your other product that you want to put in the fish food, and they have machines. You add a little bit of moisture to it. You run it through the pellet machine. You make your own pellets.
Yep, absolutely.
And I've looked because they're not that expensive.
Tom Moscal
Yeah.
was looking at buying one. How much
Yeah.
did he say it costs?
I don't know. It depends. Okay, it depends what size and what scale. He was probably looking big scale.
His scale's huge. Yeah.
So I'm looking small scale,
Yeah,
small scale farm. But you got to have all the. You got to have the ingredients ready available. If you're doing it to try to save money and a lower cost, if you got the ingredients ready available, it's a no-brainer. But if you got to go out and buy ingredients, or you got to get, then you're
Well,
raising
meat
your
and bone
cost.
meal, a container full of meat and bone meal ought to be really cheap.
Well, that's the thing too. If you get a hookup at the local market,
Yeah.
that's what you want. You know what I'm talking. The
Yeah, no
byproduct,
shopping.
especially if they're
Shipping.
doing like fish. If they're doing
Here's a kid yell, Dad, he's looking.
have it. But got 4 kids, man. You know. But I don't know. I've looked at that several times. And I looked at it for fish food, and also looked at it for feeding the quail, because the quail is what ate me out of house and home. I couldn't afford to feed them.
Because them buggers got to have
crazy.
something like 28% protein, right?
Yeah, and they eat nonstop, and you lose a lot. Even though you can do whatever type of feeder you want to try to keep the food in.
Yep.
They flick it all.
I see a
around all over the
lot of
place.
people around here, especially up in the mountains, that have huge flocks of very healthy turkeys.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're feeding them anything. I think they're just running loose.
Mine are free grazing. The guy next door, he's got a whole flock, and his are all free grazing.
How much feed? You're not giving them much, are you?
Not giving him any feed.
So you
No,
had to buy them?
that's not
right?
true.
Or did you get
Yeah, I
them?
bought the two. I bought the
What'd you pay
Tom,
for 'em?
one Tom and one. I don't really want to say, man.
I paid way too much.
I did too.
Was told to pay way too much
Uh-huh.
here. They wanted 1.5 but they're
For how
almost
many? For one?
for one. Yeah.
That's what I paid about.
So if you free range them, I've noticed when you free range these birds, the eggs tend to be very fertile and hatch very easily. But if you lock them up, it's really, sometimes you get maybe only 50%, 40% hatch rate, success rate. But if they're running loose and you take them eggs and incubate them, sometimes you're like 85%.
Yeah.
All the ones I incubated, the turkey eggs I incubated,
Uh-huh.
hatched. The ones that
You free ranging
that
them?
I live, yeah, I free range.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, what I did was I had a chicken coop, half this size, this length, and I built it out of pallets,
Uh-huh.
pallets and just scrap stuff and some chicken wire on it, and so they had a big coop. But during the day, we opened it and they go out and they would free graze through the whole farm, out in the fields, everything, because I want them to get the grit and everything, but we supplement them with the regular crumble and stuff. But by free grazing them, it cut down the food costs. That's why I was saying, do you ever, if you let them out, sometimes that can cut down, because they'll take care of all that.
All the research that I've ever seen says that they consume more when you let them out to run around because they burn.
Well, they consume
carbs.
net. They consume more energy, but they're foraging for a good portion of it, so that offsets it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're talking about they're eating more, right?
Their individual consumption.
So my answer to that is, yeah, okay, that's fine, but you still end up saving on the feed because
Because they're eating free stuff.
they're eating out there
Yeah.
in the field. But it's a lot more work.
Yeah.
The other thing is
And then
what's growing.
if they're laying eggs out there, then you got another problem.
Well, the other thing is it's what's grown out in your field. If what's grown out in your field has a crude protein level of only like 6 or 7%, they might be taking more energy to digest whatever the grasses are grown out in your field than they're getting from it. But if you have improved if you've thrown some seeds out there and improved the grazing for them, you're gonna have a much better result than if you just throw them out in a field full of weeds.
I was just being a cheapskate, to be honest. I was just being cheap, trying to figure out how to cut my costs because they were eating me. I mean, it's like I'm buying a sack because I had so many birds. I had 50 turkeys.
Yeah.
I had 500 quail. This at one time, not all at the same. But and then the chickens, I don't know how. Most of the chickens weren't mine. I only had 20 chickens that were mine. The rest were all the families, and they were always free. But at nighttime, we put them all in because we had feral dogs running around, and the dogs finally got my chickens, and that's when
Dogs get my eggs. I
up.
never got a
The
chicken.
dogs that do steal the eggs, I haven't seen them killing chickens very much. Only maybe one time in the whole time I've been here, which I'm surprised at. They do take the.
They'll dig up the dead ones that I bury, but they've never
Yeah,
killed one. That
yeah, they've got them trained pretty well.
They got my prize.
So
job.
I want to wrap this video, and I want to end it by asking a couple more questions. I want to say, do you plan to be doing this a year from now?
Yeah, the plan is this is a 10-year plan for retirement.
Okay.
I can take these 200 birds in an incubating system. I'm way behind on it, but the idea.
So you want to
is-
retire at 36?
Yeah.
Okay.
The plan is to multiply this 200 to 1,000 by the start of next year, and then multiply that 1,000 into 2,000, 2,000,
Okay.
and 4,000, 4,000, and 6,000, 6,000, and
Okay. It's
or
doable if you
4,000
can.
to 8. You know what I mean? Just
Okay.
it's gonna be a lot of incubators to
Uh-huh.
buy and a lot of electricity. But
Well, one thing I have a
the
question.
idea
Now I got more questions now. Why don't you just build one of them giant walk-in incubators?
yeah, and I've seen lots of people that have been doing like radiant heat beds or whatever, just running hot water through a bed or whatever, and then
I haven't seen that, but I've seen the ones where they do forced air circulation and they'll make a cinder block house and then they'll insulate it real tight.
Like a big convection
Like a
oven.
yeah.
Lower
but you don't even have to make it that much hotter than ambient temperature.
No,
here
you
in
don't. Not here. You
Philippines.
don't. That's the key. You don't have to do
No,
that.
I'm running mine at what 36 point something for the duck eggs.
Yeah.
Or 37.5.
Yeah, I'm like
something
30,
that.
37.1
Yeah,
or something.
37.5.
So Levi, what I want to ask, what my thumbnail is going to be, my big question is, can you survive? How do you put your odds of making it, meeting your goal? Do you think you can do it?
Oh, to get to retire in 10 years. I mean, as long as a storm doesn't come through and kill all my birds year 5 or something, then or any of the years.
So barring a natural disaster, you
Yeah.
think in 10 years you're going to be able to retire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me. Have you been through a typhoon yet here?
Now, this building should pretty well take one.
No, I'm asking. The reason I ask is not the building, but the cross rain that comes when you get the typhoons. The rain
The high
that comes
wind?
in the directions that you don't usually get it in.
Yeah.
and if they're coming across, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, we put these tarps up. I
Okay,
feel
I
like
see. Okay, I didn't see
the tarps are not going to be a good solution. Like, we're going to have to replace the tarps before and after every storm, most likely. But it should be able to help be a system to get
Yeah.
them through a storm.
Well, we'll be here hopefully, and we'll come back and see if you've
Yeah.
made it to your retirement
But yeah,
goal.
so we're going to have to build a lot more barns like this, and probably a lot bigger barns
I
than
have a
this.
suggestion for that off camera. We can talk about.
Okay. All right. So we're here with the Colonel's Chronicles. What is the Colonel and Crizella's, your other channel?
It's Crizel Doug's vlog.
Crizel Doug's vlog. We'll put a link. And most of all, guys, help Levi
Content.
push Levi's content out. So we'll have a link to Levi. Look for that in the description. So, all right. Thank you, Levi,
Thank you.
for answering all my nosy questions. Hello, Jan. How's the baby? Wow, she grew so much. Hello, baby. Hi. Wow.
Oh, she's cuter even in person.
What a big smile. Hi, baby.
Can you smile?
Hey, baby.
Can you smile,
Eggplant,
Sister?
Levi?
Yes, eggplants and
adorable
peppers.
baby.
Oh, I see the peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, one this little.
Hi.
Don't jump on me. At least you're not crying, so we'll give her back to mom before she starts crying.
Do you so no fungicide or pesticide yet, but you used you've got vermicast, you've got carbonized rice hulls, non-carbonized rice hulls, you've got composted grass. What am I missing?
Chicken
Epsom salts.
manure.
Yeah, the Epsom salts, which is in the water that we're watering on them, and the Epsom salt is probably for this much water. It's probably like a couple grains because we pour in 500 mils into 100.
So it's
plus
very,
gallon
very
tank.
little. It's not much
Yeah,
at all.
No.
Okay, what is the Epsom salt doing?
manure.
Changing the pH?
Yeah, it's to keep the
The
pH
conductivity,
perfect.
the
Yeah.
pH. Okay.
Whose plants is this?
That's J-Ann's labor of love. Yeah.
I love to plant eggplant, right?
Eggplant is good. Now, are these the Japanese, the long eggplants, or are these the big round ones?
This no, it's a long one. There, no, purple one is purple, one, and the other one is just purple that have stripe.
Okay.
Drink.
And this one is white eggplant.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right, I've got seeds for the green one, and I've got Black Beauty going, which is the big egg chick, the giant one.
No, it's
And-
just long one,
Okay, okay.
right? That this one is white
She's
eggplant.
asking me,
That
how am I
one.
supposed to know?
Two.
Ask them.
Yeah. One is
So
Right.
if you do have to spray them, what are you going to use?
We have like
Zone Rocks. Joke lang.
biosafe stuff that we're using for
What is it?
the bugs that you're getting. What are they called?
Fall army worms?
Yeah, fall
You have
army
Bacillus
worms.
thuringiensis?
Yeah, BT. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's fine need or whatever.
It's a bacteria. It's an actual bacteria that's toxic to them.
Yeah.
So what are you
what
going to
we'll
do for
use most
fungus?
likely.
Do you use mancozeb?
Copper is what we
Copper
use.
sulfate?
Yeah.
Copper sulfate, sometimes when you do a foliar application, some other pesticides, if I notice when you mix them together, dead. Everything's dead.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out that out.
Have
But
you done okra yet?
Yeah, we had a pile of okra over there, and there's a bunch of small ones started
My
from the seeds.
my okra grew like weeds.
Yeah.
But everything else.
what is that,
The
cucumber?
bugs, man.
Yeah, cucumber and then ampelaya beside.
Okay.
it.
Ampelaya and cucumber grow pretty easily in the Philippines, at
Yeah,
least this
they've
place.
got a pile of cucumbers
Uh-huh.
right here in this neighboring garden.
So let's talk about the marketing of this stuff. Is it easy to sell eggplant?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem is you're getting big competition, like people.
Because
just
everybody,
growing
it grows
sacks
pretty
and
easy here,
sacks.
so a
Yeah.
lot of people are growing it.
Yeah, this
Okay.
will probably just be personal consumption, and then
Uh-huh.
I've been doing a lot of research about genetics and how to optimize each and every generation of plant or whatever
Uh-huh.
to get larger and larger fruit, and that's what I'm
So
doing a deep dive on chickens and plants on how to take the best fruit from the best harvests.
Okay.
And we
uh-huh.
keep doing the best to get the best fruit
Okay.
possible.
Another question is, do you intend to do tomatoes on a large scale? Because I'm going for the tomatoes because there's just not a lot of large slicing tomatoes here, and I think as far as the foreigners go, I could use my contacts maybe to move some of that if I can get the quantity going.
Yeah. Well, I remember JP found
JP
a giant
brought you some big
and
ones?
Yeah, and he brought me the seeds.
I've
I
got
haven't planted
beefsteak
them
seeds
yet.
too. If you need
Yeah.
some of those, I've got actual beefsteak seeds that Vegas will, and then I've got some hybrids, not many that Kevin brought me. But the big beefsteak type tomatoes should be popular here. I don't know if there's a market. Have you tried that?
No, I mean,
Done any
I
market
have
research?
Never sold tomatoes. I've always just.
Do you think
eaten
Boracay?
tomatoes.
Anybody would buy tomatoes over there? The big beefsteak?
There's this ag company
Uh-huh.
that's Malay, Big Ag or whatever, and they're breathing down my neck that they want me to become partners or whatever.
Uh huh.
And because I've been reasonably successful marketing things,
Uh-huh.
and they need a good marketer.
Have you ever seen those before?
No, it's like the big ball.
It's an heirloom.
Is it
It's heirloom.
gonna get
eggplant.
longer and big, or
No, they get
that's
like
just-
the size of a baseball.
Yeah, I've got those growing right now.
Yeah.
No, well, not that. No,
Yeah,
I got
these-
Black Beauty growing.
Yeah, I had Black Beauty, but they said they were Black Beauty, but they weren't.
I've got
They were
actual Black
they were
Beauty.
some kind of hybrid. But these were awesome. And then I had ones of these that were white also.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problem with eggplants, didn't have any problem with zucchini, but everything else I grew.
You got potatoes
Pretty
over there. You
bored.
gonna grow those?
Yeah, that's my wife brought them to grow them. She also, this is what happens whenever you just use.
The eyes?
She planted a bunch of different herbs in these.
Oh, herbs. Okay.
And she said she didn't want any of the rice hulls because the rice hulls all had poop in it, and she didn't want to be
Huh?
putting her hands in chicken poop.
Oh, come on.
And that's what she said, and you can see
Who
it's
said that?
very necessary for things to do well. My wife. She
Oh,
just-
GM doesn't want to touch the chicken poop?
Not that time, I guess. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
if you're handling a baby all the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. That's true.
But
I
yeah,
wouldn't want
as you can
Karen
see,
doing
this
that
is the
either.
difference between if you add the chicken manure and
And if you don't, yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
This was just the compost.
Well, that's
and
because the
grass,
rice
whatever.
hulls and the other organic matter you put in there are still sucking nitrogen out of the.
Is this still
Mixed, they're not
is this
adding
straight
it.
rice hull, or you have soil in there also?
No, yeah, there's quite a bit of soil underneath.
Because
Yeah.
over there in Thailand, like in the nurseries and stuff, they're just running, and I can understand it. They're running just straight rice hull,
Yeah.
and now then you take it home and you transplant it. I never did straight rice hull, but a lot of nurseries, for starters, they did that.
Well, it's
I
definitely
never did it. I did it
affordable.
mixed. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah.
So, Levi, where do you get your Bacillus thuringiensis? Because I can't find it around here.
I think he got it at the Kubota place in Kalibo.
The Kubota place in
Yeah.
Kalibo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's been able to find a lot of
Okay.
imported German peat moss, things like that
Oh.
you just wouldn't think would be possible to find here at the Kubota place.
Well, BT, my God, powdered BT would be so great right now for what the corn crop because of them dang
I think we have a fresh pack
army worms.
laying around here somewhere.
You want to sell me one? You need it all. I don't blame you. It's like gold when you're doing this stuff.
And I've also got a Ziploc too that I could just Ziploc you up some. It doesn't take much.
If they got it at the Kubota place in Kalibo, that's easy for me to get.
It might have been Iloilo, but I think he's got most everything he's needed at the Kubota place.
I didn't even know that. Dang it. I didn't know they were selling stuff like that over there in Kalibo.
Ziplocs are not in that bag.
You wouldn't know until you go and check it out or whatever. It's just like you go into Wilcon or you go into some of these city hardware, sometimes you'll find peat moss. You find stuff like they're selling peat moss, and you can pay an arm and a leg for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, these are all chicks. Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
They're because you can't find the male to cubs. We just decided we'd make our own. That's what these.
So these are like what they call 45 days. Or whatever. They don't.
No.
These are laying birds?
Yep.
They look like
Nice.
pure leghorns, the hens.
Yeah.
Okay, those are pure white egg layer.
Yeah, the rooster.
Well, I mean,
So
no, they're not pure. but
those are not
there's-
pure?
No, they're 50, but they do look pure as could be, huh?
They do. What did you cross them with?
It's the Kalb and Australorp.
Okay, that's weird that you got a white feathered chicken out of the
So
Australian.
these are almost all males.
Yeah,
except
that's what
you
I'm
got a
saying.
Female.
I got these on the idea that I'd start selling them to people. That
So are they
got
laying a
layers.
very light brown egg?
Well, these ones haven't laid eggs yet. The
Okay.
males are cock-a-doodle-doing, but they are not.
He's trying.
Yeah,
It takes 5 months, four
Well,
and a half
that
to
one-
5 months.
that one there looks like it's not doing too hot. His
Do you worm them at
cub.
all?
No, these ones have been completely
It's your life code?
non-vaccinated.
What about?
Yeah, I am still going.
Levi, what about mites? Do you have any issues with mites?
Yes, fair amount of issues with mites.
From the rice husks?
Yeah, I think they're coming from the rice husks.
That's where mine came.
Yep, that's what I read.
That's where mine came from
Yeah.
in Thailand.
So another question I got for you is you're using permethrin. Have you used ivermectin for the mites at all?
No, I'm sure that would work just as well, if not better, because ivermectin's like a real good source for, or a good solution to lots of things.
So if everybody here is using permethrin, there might be some kind of resistance going on, and the ivermectin might work better.
It's still look good.
They look okay. Mine look okay, but they don't lay a lot of eggs though. Mine.
Around the eyes on my turkeys, especially. And
Yeah.
The way I combated that was I just used a petroleum-based
Yeah.
and it's just smothered it and got rid of within a day or so. But I found out it's from the rice husk. You know, rice. I call them rice hulls, but rice husk.
So Levi,
I powdered all them. I don't remember the chemical, but it was a white powder they sell in Thailand specifically for mites.
Yeah.
And I ended up.
I've been told
might be
lime
carbaryl. Lime?
would
It looks
do
like
it,
lime.
but
It could be carbaryl too.
but I've never.
That's what it was.
Carbaryl, a 7. Yeah, in America that
Yeah,
would be
it's like a
common to
7
use as a
dust.
chicken dust bath would be 7 carbaryl.
Okay.
Yeah, they sold 7 in Thailand, but this was. These
They sell it
came
here
in-
for the dogs.
These came in little packets. They're real cheap. But I sprinkled it all over the bedding because I was using rice
That'll
husk.
do it. That'll kill them, and that's a different mode of action. So you can use permethrin, you can use ivermectin, I think, and you can use carbaryl 7.
Yeah.
There's probably a couple more too. They used to make permethrin powder as well that
Yeah.
you could spread around.
Hello guys, that Levi and Gian.
Big pump, small well.
Childhood lovers.
I think that's 1.5.
1.5. Okay.
Yeah.
That's about. I think that's what we got.
They're a childhood lovers. Wow.
Look at you
Sana
smiling. Look at you smiling.
She
What are
loves
you
grass.
smiling at?
We don't typically get grass grown here very well, but I tilled this up ready to put corn in, and
The fruit
Does that look like?
and then nothing grew.
Does that look like foxtail, wild foxtail grass, annual grass?
What's going on?
This one here,
Yeah. That looks like ragweed.
this is marigold.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Marigold looks like
Because there was a
ragweed.
pile
It's
of
little.
marigold. I just went through and tilled everything.
Yeah, that's marigold. You're right.
Yeah.
You got a lot of
I
marigolds.
was stepping on them. Sorry.
It works.
It's
No,
fine.
no. I mean, yeah. They're,
I doubt you're gonna kill them things by stepping on them.
yeah. We tilled this area up here.
Those are all mulberries, right?
And nothing came up.
Yeah, I
We
love
put
that.
peas in, and the peas came up. But the grass is not.
No. Now, have you got peas to yield
This is
here?
what we need.
That's it. This is the first time we put it in the ground. So.
Yeah. Did they sell those seeds here in the Philippines?
No,
or is
that was stuff that my dad brought from
okay.
the States.
Because I wonder about the day length and that kind of thing with peas.
Because the goats will just eat it up.
But it's nice to see them growing there.
Yeah. He
I mean,
let
they're not
me
blowing
an
up that much,
Australorp
James.
male purebred
Okay.
from his stock. So I've been putting them in there with groups of hens frequently. I already got a bunch of bred hens inside my barn or whatever, and I'll
Okay.
just rotate them again and again. This is the ideal size cage for breeding. They can't quite breed in my other cages, layer cages. Yeah, this is not my Australorp. It is one that he bought from Shopee from an egg. And incubated it himself, and it
Oh,
turned out to be
right.
I might do
a really
that.
nice.
Oh,
Australorp.
yeah, that is a nice Australorp.
Do that, but
Problem, Levi, is it show strain or production strain?
Yeah, I don't know.
When I see him looking real beautiful like that, I start thinking, dang it, this is some kind of show bird.
Image. Also raised from a chick.
That's bigger than. I'm talking about you. That's bigger than any one that I've ever had in Thailand.
Yeah, they're regular leghorn eggs.
That's a good looking egg.
But that's normal for a leghorn.
Yeah.
Decalbs, whatever he's calling these
There's
birds.
an
These
elong-
are
there's an elongated
similar
one.
birds.
What do you think, James?
That's
Is this a Rhode Island Red?
It looks like a crossbreed, what they call a sex link.
Yeah.
It looks like a Rhode Island Red Leghorn crossbreed, right?
Yeah. But she's like massive. I've never gotten one to get this big.
Now,
this
from my
quick.
production strains I used to raise, they used to lay like as good as the Leghorn for 1 year,
Yeah.
and but they eat more.
Yeah. Well,
Eat
she
more.
hasn't laid an egg every day since she started laying yet.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully she'll turn on and do that. She lays real nice eggs.
The other thing, I'm telling you, I have not ever heard or seen anything that does as good as these birds.
Yeah.
So the problem is, in the U.S. it's easy to get the rooster. I can't even believe
Yeah.
it's that difficult to get the rooster.
Well, that's these 2 cages here have been my best production cages for the most part. I don't know if we got any more that laid 4 today or not. Those ones are down to 3. But they laid 4 in a row for 4 days. So they were perfect for 4 days, and then today they must have took the day off.
already.
Yeah, that stupid rooster.
That one?
No, this,
Okay, rooster
this
up there.
yeah, the rooster
that
in the
one.
cage.
Rhode Island.
He went ahead and snatched that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got some bantams. Your bantams look nice.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
well, I've got 1 chick from that today incubated. It's up at my
That's what I want
mother-in-law's.
to get just for play.
Yeah.
not, you know.
Yeah, when I bought that one, my mom said, "What's this chicken for? Like, it's not gonna make big eggs. It's not gonna be."
You
eatable."
sell them at the pet shop in town. They like them.
Yeah. Well,
Bantams
they can go like $5K.
Yeah, you get a lot of money. A lot of money.
I got both of those for $800 together.
If you get
But it was
one
fun.
with a lot of color, you get one of the roosters with a lot of color and whatnot. Yeah, you get a lot of money for it.
Yep.
Well, he's got the feathers on his feet, which is one of the best characteristics to have for money ones. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're very close linked. I'm not sure that they're brother and sister, but they're very closely linked.
I want to ask you about your feed.
Cool.
This smells like there's imported protein mix in there.
Yeah.
It smells like meat and bone meal.
Like Smithfield?
Yeah.
That's what I
yeah.
thought you were going to. That's what I thought you were
Eric,
getting at.
welcome to the
it does.
live.
How do you know what Smithfield smells like?
It's pork, man. Come on. I know what
Yeah,
pork smells like.
That's rendered pork.
Yeah, I'm not
Processed
sure.
pork. You'd be surprised if I know, James. I know more than you think I
Examine
do.
it there. It's fresh, but I don't.
Or I've been exposed to so much stuff, you know. It's just that's how you learn. That's why I tell
Yep.
people, you know, go around the world.
Yep.
You got kids that start exposed to these different things.
That's all right, Levi. I can pretty much tell you what that is. That's meat and bone meal from a pork front.
And plus, I had fed a lot of birds in Thailand.
Typically, they don't tell you what's in it. Typically, it just says that it was Chicken feed
17%
specialized.
protein.
made.
They ain't admitting it.
Got any antibiotics or anything in it? I'm not gonna tell
Yeah,
you.
it doesn't have all the details.
Yeah, for my quail, I had to run the higher protein content.
17% is actually kind of high. Does that seem right, Levi? 17%?
That's what they've always been saying is in that, but I don't know.
Quail require
So here's one of the females.
It's saying soybean meal, yellow corn soybean meal, but it doesn't smell like it.
Yeah. This is one of the females that I raised from a chick. As you can see, that's why it's got black feet and black feathers. This was the dad, and the mom's over there.
Okay.
beast, man.
Yeah.
But she's already bigger than weight-wise than the cubs came. But she hasn't laid an egg yet.
So you're not giving them any other supplements, Levi, or anything like that? Because these are some of the biggest chickens I've ever seen in
Yeah,
Southeast
so-
Asia.
This is what I'm giving them. Red seal. A red cell. Iron-rich amino acids.
Okay, so is that like
For,
wheat,
like-
wheat germ or what's in there?
Water for ferric ammonium citrate. There's a pile of stuff in there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Because honestly, these are the biggest chickens I've seen.
And then a bunch
Well, I think they're genetically big birds.
We don't get, in Thailand, we didn't have any of those.
The white leghorns derivatives weren't this big.
My Rhode Island Reds were not.
The Rhode Island Reds are huge
We're
here,
half the size of that.
and I would worry that their meat or show strain So for me,
overfeed, which a lot of people have been telling me that's why my egg production's going down. But I've
'Cause
been
they're getting fat?
overfeeding since I've gotten them.
she got bad eyes there.
Yeah, she needs some.
I just
got meds
just
for
cut them off a little bit, Levi. Cut
Yeah.
them off and see what happens. See if it goes back up.
Because other people feed about 100 grams, and I'm feeding like 150 most of the time. I have cut back on them. That's why you
Well,
can see. Typically, I leave a buffet for them always, but
Yeah, but
they're
you know
getting a little
it's
lower now.
normal. It's normal too for they'll lay for a while and then they stop.
Yeah.
That's normal, and then they'll start back up. You might be
Think-
going through that phase.
The molt. That's why they force the molt to make it happen faster.
Yeah, that's true. I never did.
I didn't do it either, but
But I
that's
only
what the
had 20.
commercial guys do.
I only had 20 hens.
Uh-huh.
Mine were bioengineered so that they supposedly the eggs can never be fertile.
Wow.
I got a lot of eggs. Oh, that's a good looking one right there. That's a good looking one right there, Levi. I don't know what that is. I'm colorblind, but it looks like a different color to me.
That looks like maybe a game bird.
Yeah, so that's the green-footed ones that I got. I got green-foot.
Game birds.
Yeah, they're very interesting. They call them natives, but
Uh huh.
Okay.
Native. Okay. That's what I meant.
So it's gonna be thin.
come on, girl.
I love that color on that.
Both eyes are bulging.
You giving her
Typically-
amoxicillin,
No, it's
tetracycline.
doxycycline.
Doxycycline. Okay.
This is what Papa suggests whenever they get like this. So,
Well, it's a broad spectrum blast for them. So
7 days,
yeah.
which is like probably the most expensive maintenance thing that you gotta do for a chicken. Go inside the cage.
Give it antibiotics.
My brother gives antibiotics every Saturday. I don't think that seems like a good strategy to me.
To all of them.
Yeah,
Shotgun
he
approach
puts it
all
in
of them.
the water. Yeah.
You haven't had any like predators walking around? Any predators walking around?
Snakes.
No, not. I mean,
We get
they're the
snakes in
predators
Aklan.
I've ever seen walk on 2 legs.
No, what I mean is because sometimes like mine, if they got stressed,
Yeah.
because now like in Thailand we had weasels and stuff. Like they look like a weasel to
There
me.
very well could be rats in
And-
here, but our CCTV should be able to tell us if there's a rat running.
Yeah, the rats will upset them really bad. They'll pull their feathers out. They'll bite them and eat their flesh.
Oh, you got an egg inside there.
So
Oh, they just hatched.
yeah, the antibiotic strategy got me wondering on that. So
It's still
you
moist, that
don't do that
Yeah.
with these.
No, we have not
Hey,
given these ones
leave that egg
antibiotics since
alone.
we bought them.
Okay.
Which
So true.
When you buy older birds, they've got a developed immune system, so they're probably the ones that were going to die already died.
Yeah.
That's one thing about buying
we've
the older.
lost a lot of old ones. Yeah.
Uh huh.
But we keep up on, like, whenever we see the eyes bulge like that, we give them medicine for a week, and then, yeah, here's one that's almost done with her medication. I knew there was another one here. We'll give her-
Well, at least I know what to give them now because we get the same thing.
But yeah, it's like 7 pesos a pill or whatever. So when you
Where'd you get it?
just at the feed store where we're
Okay.
buying this feed or whatever. But yeah, so that's 35 pesos worth. That's like 10 days worth of feed or
Uh huh.
whatever, just to get them back
Yeah.
right.
So these are all homemade cages?
No, these were pre-bought. We refabbed them because they were falling apart when we got them. For some reason, the person that owned them before us was walking on them. Like they must have had kids harvesting or something. But if you look, they're like
Uh huh.
got waves in them. So we had to put bamboo in spots where.
Okay, so these are pre-owned and you just
Yeah.
refurbished them and
Yeah,
and
we
made
repainted them. We went across them
Nice.
with wire brush and
Yeah.
got all the rust off and then painted them. But they're really junk. It's really affordable actually to buy the wire to make them, and
Uh-huh.
it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I made mine and I made my own, but I wasn't doing full-size chickens.
Yeah.
The
Is wire
full-size
better than
chickens we had in a big coop,
Uh huh.
but for like the quail, I used the green plastic netting is what I
Yeah.
used.
Why not? In the U.S.,
And-
the coyotes and the raccoons
And that, well, I did
will
expanded
shred
metal.
it. Here, you don't have that.
Well, I was doing expanded metal, but that's how I got this big scar. I about killed myself with that expanded metal. And but then I went to the green plastic, and for the quail was good enough. The chickens, I don't know if it's strong. It should be strong enough to hold them in, but the wire's better.
Yeah, the bamboo is nice, but the wire should last at least 2 to 3 times longer than the
Yeah,
bamboo.
bamboo won't last. I never used bamboo. I
Well,
used
labor
to.
is cheap, and I see a lot of guys with these bamboo chicken coops around here. So
Yeah.
I like the rebar, so I could actually make this. We could make this. Rebar.
easily, it's easy to make.
I've got,
But it's ridiculous how expensive. Like,
got the welder
if you go to
up.
Pacifica or whatever,
Oh yeah,
just one of these racks is like $15K or whatever.
crazy money for that. Yeah.
I looked at Rosada, and they've got cages and stuff, but they're all tiny.
Yeah.
You know, unless you. Now I did have a name. I threw out his card, but I had a name of a guy in China, businessman. I met him on an airplane, and this was his business. You know, supplying stuff like this. And I wish I'd kept his card now. There's one-
Well, that's Alibaba.
guy.
I found really good deals. I've never bought any there, but
Uh huh.
I mean, if you're thinking about starting an egg laying operation, you're going to need hundreds of cages anyhow. So
Yeah.
you might as well get the discount by going to Alibaba.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so we bought 200 birds in all these cages, and then some that are at my brother's for $45K. So
Good deal.
we had to feed the birds $45K worth of feed before they laid another egg because they were going through a molt when we got them. And it's been 8 months since we got them, so the molt shouldn't be happening already, but with the heat and
Your eggs look great.
yeah. Yeah, we've had a couple over 100 grams in the last couple of days, which is really good for sales.
Are you getting any dark brown?
This brown one here was laying dark brown, but one of
Okay.
those is hers.
So
that
it does
more
have
red
Rhode
one.
Island red. Is that the one that you said was Rhode Island?
Yeah.
So it
was
does have.
supposed to be
Excuse
Rhode
me.
Island.
It does have Rhode Island red in it.
Yeah.
But there's something else, and I think she's.
Yeah.
Hey, that I like.
All right, so we got.
Okay.
We're gonna ask the wife of Levi, Jan here. So Levi told me he's got a plan to retire in 10 years.
So he told you that for the first time and not to me, no?
Okay, so my second question is,
10 years?
how-
10 years old?
how do we get to world peace? No, I'm just kidding. Miss Universe. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Is that girl?
do you see your future here in the future in Aklan? Do
Yeah.
you plan to raise your child here?
I don't know. I think to be retired here, I think I should say that we see our future in Isabela, maybe.
Where?
Isabela, North Luzon.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's what Levi wants to.
Climate's
to
better?
Retired. Yeah, like huge land
Uh huh.
and I know very silent area.
Okay.
But I don't think I will raise my baby here because we're planning also to work on paperwork to go
Okay.
in the States. Maybe visit there and work for a little bit
Okay.
and save money and go back here. But maybe just go back and forth.
Okay. Okay. That was kind of what me and Karen were talking about, but you know, I think Karen really loves her home here in Aklan. I don't think she wants to leave, right?
Just have a vacation and then just
Uh huh.
just enjoy one time snow and experience the snow. And
Well,
go
you'll
back
enjoy snow one time.
Yeah, that's what I.
Then you
I-
won't like it anymore.
Yeah, I told to Levi when we go to the state, I want to experience the snow
Uh-huh.
one time, and that's all.
That's how it will be because you'll experience it one time and you'll decide it's too miserable to ever experience again.
Yeah. It's like a typhoon that you cannot go out to your house.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you try to go out. The snow could be, you know, a meter tall. You get your truck stuck. You slide off the road. Yeah, common occurrences.
That's how snow. I will not.
You don't want to go see the snow, Jen?
We will stuck at home or at your house.
Just experience one time, and